39 minutes past the hour, and thank you so much for staying with KATV. And I'm Double M. Remember that we are live on Facebook Live, on our signet at KATV, also on our my home app at KATV. Catch us live also. You can talk to us through 07 14 59 68 88. Talk to us on 07 14 59 68 88. And the question of today is it a cry of help, or is it unrest? Before we went to a break, we had a Frank talking about the incident that happened to him personally, to a point whereby he said that yeye mwenyewe alitaka kupigana na mwalimu. Maybe tukirudi tumalizie hiyo, after uliengage mwalimu, what happened next? Did you go ahead na ukasema sasa tunakupiga, ama what happened next?
Yeah, atukuengage. Nilichukua group na kitu sound amazing na ikanipea nguvu ni those people hiyo unapata they were very fed up na they were very fed up. Sasa at the point tukaanza kuongea hivi, tukaanza kulink. Yeah, tukaanza tuko kama meeting hivi, tukaanza mwalimu yakuwa Discord, yakuwa na nini, alikuwa anatoka. So mwalimu tulimpata, lakini tulimpata nje kwa 3. Tulimpata kwa 3 akienda home. Yeah.
Kwanza, were you in a boarding school or in a day school?
Me?
Yeah.
I was in a boarding.
You was in a boarding.
Yeah.
So hiyo mliorganize ile siku ya kufunga.
Yeah.
Ukasema huyu tunampata. Yeah.
Ulitoka tu magizgiz.
Mulitoka magizgiz. Meaning that we ulikanyaga fence.
Yeah, tulikuwa wengi. Na these people wenye nililink now, unapata those people si mara ya kwanza, watu walikuwa wanaenda club mausiku. Club.
Yeah.
These people in na.
And talking of kuenda club. Mzazi wako alikuwa unajua una sneak unaenda club?
Azi.
Kama wewe sasa kama Frank, will you take your daughter or say your child to a boarding school? Because wewe umepitia boarding school, you know what happened, you know what you did, because you are a true testimonial of what you did in, and these are some of the things that zinapelekea, because that you personally ulisema umeibiwa vitu na you are not heard. Luckily to you, take an action whereby ulisema wacha niende ni mwalimu. Wengine nayo watasema no, I'll not take that route. What I'm going to do is mimi na organize na maboy, since that tunatoka nje tuende tulete petroli nini na hivyo ndio tunachoma shule, sio?
Yeah. For me siwezi peleka mtoto wangu boarding.
Just hold on, let's go back to let's go back to Olo. Maybe you have some messages that you can from our viewers and wanasema nini from your end. Then we can engage also our panelists. We discuss more that we have a very interesting question, a very interesting topic. It seems that to him, it seems that your voice are not being heard at school. Your voice are not being heard at school. So this is the reason as to why inapelekea muende mchome shule. Sinivo. Maybe Olo to you.
Okay. Again, welcome. But I think there's so many overwhelming views. Just share them in a bit. I would just probably want to probably give the part of the audience. Tuanze na hapa nyumbani. Charity begins at home. So whatever they think, the responses, because the things that we go through as students, I may not understand as a parent. I may not understand as a, So you guys can continue as we probably gather some more views on this. But I will share just maybe in the next 2 minutes. So as we wait, you guys can continue having that conversation. Probably you can give us your views as I will continue giving us the views on the same. Can go ahead.
My comment will be, as Frank had shared, me what I think is at times people always, the teachers and the school administration, they always know when students are about to either riot, ama they do the fires and all that. I feel what we are lacking, as everyone else is attesting to, is that listening here. When people are facing such things, do we give it attention, or we just dispute it and feel as though it doesn't know that it's not affecting a teacher or affecting the school workers? They just shun it off and they don't even act or do something about it. But I feel, as we are saying, it has been happening even in the past, even before we were born. Schools were being burned down, and it's something that is still happening even like currently. And like people opt for it because they feel if we happen to do this is when you will take our issues seriously. So if we can respect, you know, at times when I'm a Sunday school teacher, but when children are like of a tender age, we seem to care more for them. Even when they're saying kichwa inauma, you run and do something about it. Inguo staki, like parents always pay attention, but kuna ka age, ka teenage, even your parent doesn't listen to you because they feel wewe nani achana. Like they don't listen. Hata shule, if you tell them maze huku shule kuko aje, we bado niko na wengine. So they just dispute our issues. Na ndio ukipata watu wana relate na wewe, tuseme vile Frank anasema, unapata crew yako ina feel vitu zinakubother. Mnasonga nao kusonga cause ni wando wanakusupport. So if we can, tusione kama people don't matter. Let's take it seriously na tuache tutoe hii kitu ya fear. Also we fear our teachers. Patata boarding master, you can't tell them bucket yako imepotea, shopping yako imeibwa yote, you fear them. But that is it for now. I want to give someone else to. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So ndaanza na kusema, we had a question, is it a cry or is it a what? Act of violence. So my take, it's a cry from my brother there, because it's really unfair. I'm a student, yeah? Nimechanga pesa yangu ya pocket money, nimeenda nikanunua Oppo pale kwa duka, si ndio? And as we all know, hiyo age ya high school, niyo age ya unataka you date this one, you see? So you have a phone and you are tempted to carry it to school. Then there's this human being who will take it and crash it in front of you. Yeah. So I will not act like, okay, when mkubwa wangu, so it's okay, let it slide. Imagine I've saved this money. Maybe nimekuwa nikipewa 500. So how much can you save 500 shillings to buy an Oppo smartphone? And then ipasuliwe mbele yako after 3 weeks. You see? So mimi, my take, the way the teachers are relating with the learners is the main reason as to why we are having these fires. Number 2, parents nowadays, they are running away from their responsibilities. Because mtu ataona, mimi niko na watoto 3. And then nowadays, every parent is going to work. So itakuwaje, naenda job, watoto wanabaki peke yao. So unaona mzazi anaona, acha ni watupe huko boarding school. So you don't know ni nini anaenda kulala huko boarding. Because surely, like the other day, boarding primary. To my thought hata nashindwa government iliallow aje to have a boarding primary. Mtu ajui kuosha hata handkerchief. How do you take such a child to a boarding school? You see? So these are some of the issues that are bringing this menace. So sawa. Yeah, so if we can solve some of these, parents wawajibike. They take their responsibilities, not to run away from them. And if you know you can't take the responsibility, then as we are being told in primary and high school, chill. Chorea.
Okay. Actually, it's chorea. A very interesting question whereby ameuliza, how can you take a toddler to a boarding school? That's a question whereby we'll come to it. I see comments zimeflow hapa kweli kweli. Steven Nando anasema such a great conversation. This is a talking generation. Thank you so much where you are watching us from. Ruby Laura Chebi anasema students are not being given attention and similar here. Parents and teacher most of time dedicate the rules. Thank you so much Ruby where you are watching from. Tafadhali tuambie unatuwatch ukiwa wapi. Anafula Keti anasema watching us live. Winnie Wabi anasema my opinion is that it's both a cry for help and rebellion. It's both a cry for help and rebellion. Now that we have this young generation, it's recently that mmetoka shule, and we want to discuss you as a Christian, and what is the role of a Christian or a church to come in and intervene in this matter of these school fires. Maybe to you.
Thank you so much. So I'll base so much on the spiritual aspect. You understand that most people, and this goes to the parents, they are religious but they are not spiritual. So you realize that these kids are carrying so much in them to the point that they need to share, but they lack that person that they can share to. You understand? So you realize that when they come from school, they are carrying so much in them. Ile yenye wanatamani wakuwe na mtu wa kuambia, but you realize that the parents are not there for them. You understand? And even if they are there for them, they are not into the spiritual aspect. So we understand that life is spiritual. Sometimes these fires are not just happening, but rather some of them are being controlled by spirits. So I feel like parents have neglected their part, and I'm glad to the schools that we usually have, like I was in a boarding school, and
maybe you tell us what is your experience in a boarding school. And in your boarding school, did such a thought or did such an event happen?
Okay. So me, I was in a boarding school from class 5 to standard 8. And in primary, it was not smooth. But considering the background that I used to come from, I used to feel it like it's a good environment for me. You understand? Because when I remember back at home, the condition at home, I used to feel like I'm in a safe place. In as much as it was not easy, it was never smooth. So you realize that some kids have, yani wamelelewa ile soft life. So when they get back to school, it's hard to adapt to that kind of lifestyle.
Just hold on, we will come back to you. Maybe from our audience, do we have a parent? Do you have a parent from our audience? Maybe a parent can come and share what is your thought. Why do you consider taking, as our brothers are saying, why do you consider taking your child to a boarding school at an early age? Okay. Maybe you can just first introduce, start by introducing your name and give us your thought about that.
Okay, my name is Winnie Wabuko, and I personally went to a boarding school, but I would not consider taking my child to a boarding school at a tender age, because I will consider taking her to when she is of age, maybe in high school, because personally I was in a day school when I was in primary school, and looking at how the day school that I was in, during that time, I personally wanted to go to a boarding school because I saw the condition and the state that we were living in, the area and the people that we associated with. I was like, hey, with this condition, I will not make it in life. Let me go to a different environment. Maybe from there, I'm able to get different, I'm able to meet with a wider perspective of people. So personally, I would consider taking my child to a boarding school when she's of age, when she's able to understand and when she's able to make that decision by her own self, because personally it was my own initiative. I was the one who told my parent, I want to go to a boarding school. So because now the generation of children that we are raising, like mine is a generation Alpha, they are really outspoken more than the Gen Z. For that generation, they will tell you this is how it is. So when she's able to talk it herself and say, I want things done this way, and we sit together and reason out. So personally, when she wants to go to a boarding school, well and good. When she wants to go to a day school.
But when you look in the history of fires, we see that the school that are being set on fire are secondary school compared to those of primary school. So what is your take on that? Now that you are saying that you will consider taking your daughter or your child to a boarding school when he can think, or he can know between what is good or what is bad. What's your take on that? Because in secondary schools, these things happen more in secondary school. Can we say that is because of the age maturity or the peer pressure or the anxiety from the exam? What's your take on that?
Okay, for secondary school, you see these are now these are a class of people that we cannot say their mindset is like for those who are below grade, for the lower primary. So for my take will be the school anxiety and also the rules that are in boarding school. These are the things that make people go on strike. Like personally, when I was joining Form 1, we had a strike. You see, you are just now new in Form 1. The term even has not ended. You are joining, you are getting, there was a planned strike that was ongoing from the Form 4s, Form 3. Now you as the Form 1, you are being influenced to get into that system of the strike, and they were striking against the principal. Now you see, you are just new, you don't know everything, how things are going, then suddenly the school is closed.
Maybe we let's get the opinion from the gentleman back there. What's your take on this? Is it a cry or is it a cry of help? Maybe to you, what's your take on this? First of all, introduce yourself, and are you a parent, or are you a parent, or you have just recently finished your education, or what do you do?
Kwa majina naitwa Mkuru ama Samuel Mugo.
Yeah.
Nashiriki hapa Sense Live. So kwangu niseme mimi sijasoma boarding school, sijasomea boarding school. Nimekuwa day school, but nimeinteract na watu wetu ilikuwa mixed day and boarding school.
Yeah.
So unapata actually vile my colleague amesema, hata mimi wakati nilijoin Form 1 nilipata after some few months nikapata kuna strike ilikuwa ishapangwa juu ya principal alikuwa amebadilishwa. So wakati alikama akapata tunakula mkate na chai asubuhi. Ni mkate na chai rangi asubuhi. Kisha lunch time tulikuwa tunakula githeri, but huyo principal mwenye alikuwa anasema tuwekewe viazi. So unapata chakula ni kingi. So wakati mwingine alikuja akasema tunakula sana na tukuja shule kukula, tumekuja shule kusoma. So by the your staff ilifanya ma students Form 4s, Form 3 na Form 2 wakapanga strike. But ilikuwa mbaya. Walipanga strike wakasema lazima tu strike, huyu madam lazima aende. Na kama si hivyo, kama aendi tunachoma shule.
Yeah.
Kama aendi tunavuruga. So mimi kwangu nitasema walimu na wazazi pia wanapaswa shirikiane katika hili jambo. Maana mwanafunzi akiwa shuleni, mwalimu ndiye mzazi wa mwanafunzi kule shuleni. Na akiwa nyumbani, mzazi ndiye mzazi bado kule nyumbani. So basi wakishirikiana mwalimu na mzazi wataweza kujua kinachomsumbua mwanafunzi. Maana utapata kuna wakati mwingine bado tulikuwa tumepanga ku strike juu ya exams. This opening exams
nyinyi mlikuwa mmepanga
ilikuwa imepangwa ya strike ya
ukiwa a day school
pia ilikuwa boarding and day school.
Yeah.
So ilikuwa
ni kina nani wali initiate ama ni kina nani the form 4
yeah,
wenye walikuwa boarding
ambao walikuwa boarding. So walikuwa nataka kutoa madam ndio anasema tunakula sana.
So in simple ni kuwa vililio zenyu hazikuwa zinasikika.
hazikuwa zinasikika.
Ama maelezo yenyu ambao mlikuwa mnayatoa kwa hao walimu hawakuwa wanatilia maanani.
Unajua sasa walikuwa nasema sisi tumekuja shule walikuwa wanatuambia mmekuja shule kusoma. Actually kuna tamu walikuwa wanatumia that gate ulingia peke yako utatoka solo. So unapata hiyo ndio tunashindwa hata kama tumeka mshule kusoma. Si tunalipa fee, so you have tunapaswa tule vizuri ndio uweze kusoma.
Shikilia hapo, that's a common verse. Hiyo gate uliingia peke yako na utatoka peke yako. Maybe to you Kolo, what's comments za nini zinasema aje upande wako?
Okay, I can see very interesting comments from Steve Nando says that this is a great conversation talking about our generation. Thank you, Steve. And then Peace LC has also added another point that these children are too young to stay away from their parents. Definitely, there is a cry for help. Another one from Steve Dandwa again says that the upbringing of our children is very important, according to referencing Proverbs 2:6, that says, "Train up a child the way he should go. When they grow up, they will not depart from it." Another one from Ephesians 6:4. And Timothy, just quoting verses about parenting and just how we can raise our children. The final one from here is another Christian saying is following, there's definitely a cry for help.
Remember, you can catch us live on at KATV on Signet, my home TV net. Just download it from the Apple Store or Play Store. Download it. Follow us on KATV. Remember that you can call us also on 0759 6888. And there's two comments here from Facebook. Watu wanasema, I love that gentleman so much. Yule mwenye hakuogopa alispeak his mind. Thank you so much, be blessed. And I think he's talking about Frank. Mwingine anasema great conversation, please KATV bring more and more these conversations so that we can educate our parents and we can educate our parents and know what is happening in our school today. Thank you so much, wherever you are tuning us. Maybe to you, Kolo.
So I think as we come to the end of the show, probably I will allow the parting shots from the part of the audience who did not have a chance maybe to say something. Just a parting shot as you give us your view on anything that we talked about. You can just pick one and give us the parting shot, the three of you.
My name is Philip Mwanzia. I've been a boarder ever since class 7 all the way to Form 4. One thing I can say about this topic, to me, it's a cry for help, and then the act of violence comes as an end result. There was something that you said about neglect of parents and teachers. I'm of a school that a student said, went to the school nurse, akasema, mwalimu, sisikii vizuri, naumwa na kichwa. Sasa walimu wakamwambia that wakampea painkiller. So the kid anaumwa na kichwa the whole day, akaenda usiku kwa dom akalala. So asubuhi watu wameamka wameenda preps, and the students are like, where's our classmate? Wakaenda kumtafuta. Sasa unajua kuna these cases whereby in boarding school jumezoea kuamka 4, inafika sometime mwili inazima for one day, unapata unaamka saa 2, and God willing, if luck is on your side, unaweza pata walimu hajajua. So your students, your friends wanakuja na kufungulia dirisha secretly, unaruka unaenda class, because mwalimu akuja kukupata itakuwa another issue. So the students are like, walimu bado hawajarealize. So wanafunzi wakienda wakamtafuta dom, wakamstua, wakamuita kijana amki. So they took a stick, wakampiga, wakaona uni kama ni mtu mwenye laka iko kwa side yake, wakaenda wakaita sasa the patron. So the patron anakuja na hasira, akafungua mlango. Wamejaribu kuamsha kijana amki. So unfortunately the kid had passed away, and his fellow classmates knew that he was not healthy the previous day. So it can spark a lot of tension, a lot of anger within the students. It led to a whole dorm being burnt down because the teachers were like, no, sometimes ukiwa mgonjwa, like personally something happened to me in high school, nikapelekwa Kisii hospital, nikaendagua minor treatment, and then nikarudi shule. So that should be the way, but the teachers there were ignorant. I can say ignorant, or maybe they didn't see it as a big deal. Unajua wakati mtu anakuja anasema anaumwa na kichwa, unaona tu ni ile kuja na kuenda, like a flu. But unfortunately it was not the case, and it led to a lot of anger. The school being burnt down, the old dome.
You as a Christian, what did you do when shule ilikuwa inachoma?
Personally, it wasn't my school, it was a neighboring school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we like had a talk with some of them wakati walikuwa wako nyumbani. Tunaongea ile tu mnaongea mki-exchange vitu, topics in school and all that. Wakatupa hiyo story. And personally, you can't blame them. At a point you can't blame them, but also, you know, an advice to teachers, don't be rude at times to these students because they know. And also another thing to the parents, don't be the kind of parent that, you know, you give up your own responsibility to the teacher. Unamwambia, like, you know your son is struggling with a drug addiction or a form of, you know, impulse, and instead of dealing with it, kumpeleka maybe a rehabilitation center, unamua acha nitupe mtu tu shule, walimu watamshughulikia. Hapana. In fact, that is one of the main, ukijana utampeleka, he will influence others to join that group. And at the end of the day, it becomes a very bad situation.
Yeah, we can. But that can be so saddening. And again, I agree with you that it's all not a responsibility of a teacher. They have a collective responsibility, both the parents and the teachers. So you just pass on to the other person.
Maybe to this lady before we go for a break, and I need to engage also parents on this. Parents that who personally take their kids to this. What news do they hear when they see that their student or their kids behave in this normal way? Maybe to you, young lady, your name, tufahamishe mahali ambapo umetoka, mahali ambapo unaenda kanisani. You as a Christian, tumeona vitu mingi sana zinapopulate to this fire. As the panelists, as the audience wamesema kuwa kuna anxiety of exam, kuna lack of guidance in school. Hizo zote zina spark up that action ya kuanzisha moto shuleni. To you, what is wewe, kulingana na wewe, unachukulia ni kipi ambacho kinafaa kifanywe as a Christian, ama ni nini, ama ni solution gani inafaa ifanywe? Je, government wakuje na suluhisho kuwa from now on there is no boarding school, sisi wote turudi day school, ama government wa put measures? Na government wakiput hizi measures huwa zinafuatiliwa?
Okay, I am Beverly Kathy. To me, what I can just say, it is about the teachers. Please teachers, at least mkuwe friendly to the students, so that at least mwanafunzi akikuja akuseme akuja akwambie akona shida hii na hii, at least hana that fear. And then the other thing is that teachers, you must also, yani, mkuwe na hiyo nini na wanafunzi. And also, for example, me, nilisoma boarding school since class 3 to 8. High school nikaenda, but high school it was a bit tough kwa sababu ya walimu. tuseme unaweza kuwa na shida, unaenda kuambia mwalimu, lakini mwalimu hakusikii kabisa, totally hakusikii. Especially ugonjwa, sickness. Tuseme unaumwa. You go, you tell the teacher, lakini teacher anaona, huyu ni kujifanya ama ni homesick. You see? So please teachers, tafadhalini, kuweni na upendo na wanafunzi. And then the other thing, handle a student kama mtoto wako. Usimuhandle kama yani hivyo tu, kwa sababu maybe you are a teacher, you are a parent. So please let's stand up for our students, tuwapende and tuwachukulie virahisi.
As you appeal to teachers, maybe a teacher here atujibu hii swali. Yeye anasema please teacher. Wewe kama mwalimu, kuna wale wanafunzi ambao wanataka kupembelezwa wanataka kudekezwa kama yai. Pengine kama wewe mwalimu, before turudi kwake na tuende break, wewe kama mwalimu, hao watu mnawafanya aje?
The concerns from our sister there on teachers. So it's normally okay. Normally the things she's saying ni ukweli, some of them, but there are certain things that should be done. Ndio tunafaa kulaumiwa for some things, but we are human beings also, of which I believe or I know, according to the measures that were supposed to be put place, teachers were supposed to be treated like other human beings, because we have feelings. You see, we have issues that we are handling in our lives, of which when they were about to enroll the CBC curriculum, some of the implementations were to have at least one guidance and counseling or a psychologist, somebody you can speak to, at least take you through your dark periods. So at least if these measures were to be put in place, then some of these things that we are facing will not be there.
Thank you so much. Koko umesema kuwa we have we start this guiding and counseling to our schools. Thank you so much for your nini. Maybe from our lady here, as a Christian, your party short, what will you advise the parents, or what will you do?
I think the parents should be close to the kids when they come home, because they go through so much that if they decided to open out their hearts and share, you would burst into tears, because the moment they don't have a person to share with, they end up going back to school, and you see the things have accumulated now. They have nobody to share to. Now you see they'll end up speaking to their peers, and the peers will come up with a solution. You understand? And then the other thing, the parents, the most important, the parents should also train their kids on both sides of the coin. Like at home, most of them are so used to soft life, like I'd said before. So when they go back to school, they can't, you understand? They can't adapt to that life easily. So it is very important for the parents. You have a phone. You have bought that phone for your child, and you know very well that the child is not supposed to report to school with that phone. Why would you give him or her that phone? Why would you give them the phone? Yet you know very well that it is against the school rules to report with a phone. So the moment the phone is taken by a teacher, of course it will stir my anger. Why are you taking it? I'm supposed to be using it. Of course it will stir the anger, and I'll end up doing things like my brother has said, because I'm a human being. So you understand, the parents have also failed on their parts, and this goes out to the parents. Wazazi, I believe we can do something and it will be good. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Before we go, we are going to a break, and when we come back, we are coming back with, we need to hear the other side of coin from the parents as we discuss, we talk more, and as we wind up our show. Thank you so much, our panelists, and thank you so much, our audience. Our viewers back at home, please continue staying with us, follow us, comment. We need to hear from you. Maybe before I go to a break, my producer, let me just read one comment. Mwingine anasema, Andanja anasema, who is it take? Andanja anasema, thank you so much. I'm following you guys. Next time kujeni pia sisi kwa kanisa yetu pia to have a discussion. Don't worry, we will get in touch with you, and we will come. As we go for a break, when we come back, we come back with our parents. We hear from them too. Thank you.
In a world filled with chaos and uncertainties, where do we turn for guidance, strength, and solace? Join us for the power of prayer, a groundbreaking KA television series that explores the timeless teachings and profound impact of prayers in our lives. Remember, Jesus gave a command. He said, when you pray. He did not say, if you pray. You as a child of God out there, you can unlock your destiny. You can unlock your purpose. Discover the transformative power of prayer as we dive into ancient wisdom. Personal testimonies and provide call insight to deepen your spiritual practices. Watch Whisper
people coming up with questions to discredit the authenticity and the message of Christ. If today you were to ask a pastor a question, what will that question be?
Is it recorded somewhere that it is on the exact 25th of December that we celebrate the birth of Jesus?
Why do we die? Now, the Bible says that when you receive Jesus Christ, you receive life, eternal life. Then why should we die before we live eternally?
My curiosity will be, what happens when someone dies?
When is Jesus coming? 2,000 years ago, it is said, and every sign that has been talked about has already come to pass. But Jesus has not yet come.
The Bible records we should forgive 70 times 7 times. Does it mean we should make mistakes as often as we can?
If Jesus loves us so much as he says, why does God allow calamities to befall us? Storms to come to us. People are fighting, people are dying, there is pain, sadness, sorrow all over. Why doesn't he just take it away? Because he can do it.
Now, right here at KA Television, we are introducing an avenue, a platform where we are merging pastors from the northern and western hemisphere together with those from eastern hemisphere, coming together to answer very critical questions that you may have as a believer, as a non-believer, to get to understand about God, the Trinity, Christ, and everything pertaining salvation. It is every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. on the East African time and 9:30 a.m. on New Mexican time, where the conversation is happening. See you there.
Welcome back, our viewers. Welcome back, our viewers. Remember that this is KA TV. We are live on our signet at KA TV. Also, you can download our app at My Home TV. Those who are using an Android, you can get it from Google App Store at My Home TV and watch us live. We are back in our studio with a set of parents. We need also the parents to tell us what is their take on this. Now that we engage those who recently came out from the school just the other day, we can call them that they were Gen Zs, and we know that Gen Zs are not afraid of speaking. Maybe you guys, parents, you are millennials, you are afraid of speaking. But I'm joined here with the pastor. They will introduce their name and then tell us what they do, which church they minister, and we can dive into the meaning. Thank you. Maybe we start from here.
Yes, thank you very much. KA TV. My name is Pastor Stephen Nando. I'm a pastor in Televsion. I'm a pastor. So I'm excited to be here.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, KATV. Thank you for having us here. Because until the point where we lose children in school because of fires, I mean, it's not good. Not only fires, but in any other situation, we should not lose our children in school. We send them to school to learn, come back and help us and change the society. Because as we know, every generation comes and goes. So it is their time to learn and then come take over. So for that particular situation, it wasn't good. And it is my prayer that they will investigate and get to the bottom of that.
Maybe who to blame on this? Is it the parents? Is it the government? Because we know that the government set measures pertaining this boarding school. In boarding school, we know that they were supposed to. In boarding school, we know that there were measures that were put in dormitories, whereby we should have 2 doors, the emergency one and the entrance one. But you see, in other schools, we don't have those. In fact, where the fire is starting, we don't have those measures. So who to blame? Because you, as a parent, you go to school, you don't have even much time to know where the dormitory that your child is going to sleep, the environment that your child is being brought up. Who is to blame in this? Is this the government or you, the parents?
Well, when you ask who is to blame, I think that's a very big question, huge, because it cuts across. Everyone has a responsibility at any particular stage. The parents, the school, the government, the administration of the school, and even the students themselves. Everyone has a responsibility. So you cannot wholesomely say we blame the school, we blame the children, or we blame the government. It's a wide array of stages of approvals or management that we need to see. We also have quality control inspectors from the Ministry of Government who should have gone to schools to inspect whether the schools are good and fit for habitation of the students, like the dormitories. Do they have access? Fire escape routes? Are there firefighting equipment? Are the students trained on how to use even the fire extinguishers? No, it's an array of items and issues. So we can't just put blame on one person. So it's big, it's huge. So we need to now go to the root cause and this is the situation. And
we had one of our audience by the name Frank. He said that they are not being heard at school. Another thing is exam anxiety. The other thing is overload.
of a child or a student. So what rest in this case do they want? You see, we may say they need rest, yes, but I want to trust and believe that those who brought the curriculum understood that these children, they will go to class from 7 or 8 to this time, break, go to sports, but you find now the same students do not want to engage in, say, sporting activities which will help them rest. Sporting can take off the stresses or the pressures from classroom. But do they adhere to those set out standards and rules? Yeah, because like waking up very early and all that, we all do that. As a parent, I sleep late, I wake up late. There's pressure to perform, I mean, to feed them, to get them school fees.
Hold on there. Maybe
Thank you,
I come to you. I come to you, Pastor of Gen Z.
Yes.
I know that you quite interact with them most. What is your experience on this?
Once again, I want to appreciate you. And before I say, I want also to appreciate my spiritual authority, Bishop Josephine Mugania, for giving us this platform to serve and also for the young people to be heard.
Thank you.
So I'm really grateful. I interact with Gen Z a lot, both in church and in schools. And I can really say there's a big problem, and until it is looked into in depth, then we will see more of this, of what we are seeing, which is unfortunate, losing lives and young lives, promising lives, which is so heartbreaking. One of the things I would really say in schools, like what happened, what the incident you mentioned. I have a son in Form 2, I have one in grade 4. I have taken my son severally to a boarding school, but unfortunately when you go to the school, you are not allowed as parents to enter the dorms. So you just remain at the administration. So you might not really know what is happening in the dorms. So you can't really blame the parent when it comes to boarding facilities. But again, I can really put a lot of emphasis on the government. The government, which is the eye of the parents, should be able to investigate, go and see, because we have the Minister of Education. They should be able to see, does this school have adequate boarding facility? Are all the measures that safeguards the well-being of the children in place? Because a parent is not allowed. You are just given up to the administration block, then the boy or the girl is taken away and you don't know where the baby or the boy has gone.
Thank you so much. Maybe to our deacon, what is the role of the church in this as we wind up?
Thank you so much. You know, church is an institution that really reflects the society. So it gives us the controls and the balance in life, so that we may live a life that, one, is pleasing to God. That is the first young age. These children
Thank you so much, and thank you for having you here. It was such a great, maybe from my producer, will you allow me just to read 2 or 3 comments from our viewers? I have Wendy Wabi. She says that, wow, having the parents on the board to dwell into conversation is a plus. Good job, KATV. Ryle Ndinda is saying, what a worth topic to air. it's a cry for help. Indeed, we've seen that this thing, it's need a serious action to be taken on, both by the government and by the parents. We should not rely on one party. Rather than we should rely on everyone. I think everyone who tuned in to today's broadcast show on KATV, maybe from Kenneth Maia and Sema, we need more conversation of this. I think my producer amesikia hiyo, mwingine anasema show imekuwa nzuri sana, asanteni. Mimi kama mzazi nimeona kuwa mimi kama mzazi nimefuata kuwa sitapeleka mtoto wangu boarding. Really? Okay, mwingine anasema kweye hii chanzo cha moto haijaanza saa hii ama haijaanza, imeanza kitambo, na chenye ambayo serikali inafanya ni kuwa wakati ambapo moto umetokea ndio sasa serikali wanakuja wanasema tuliweka hii measures, tukaweka hii measures na wafuatilie. Thank you so much Peace Elise na penye umekuwa kwa your comment. Thank you so much. Maybe from you, although you have a parting shot before you close.
Probably, I think there was a nano, probably there was an indication that you needed to give some point. I will allow you one parting shot before I give mine. So the two of you just give us your parting shot on the issue, then give mine as you close.
What I can add on, I think everyone has a story to tell with a basis on everything. Something, it has to start somewhere. And I think I can blame it on parents because unapata like environment and you will grow haiko poa, mzazi akusikizi, you know. And if you have an issue at school and you come and report, unapata mzazi yako like wewe ndio umekosea, and it's not you, maybe it's the nini. Na mwalimu akiona like mzazi hafuatilii ataendelea kukua hostile. I have a sister like amekuwa in such a case when like pupils were being beaten up by teachers, and ukiangalia hiyo issue
you're also a student in school and you're following me. When I was in high school, people are planning. We also know the repercussions when we burn our schools. We lose our items, lives are lost. You can also be bold. In case there is a teacher you can easily open up to, you can go share it with them, and they can cause people not to go ahead and burn the school. And also, in case you're a teacher and a student approaches you and tells you about what other students are planning, don't be harsh on the students that are planning, because we've all said it's a cry for help, yeah? So don't be harsh on them because they are planning it, but rather if we can act on the issues they wanted to. So in case you're very bold, you can go say it. Hautaonekana traitor. Me, I did that. I know kuna watu wataniambia. but you can easily speak about it. What was Sichome shule pia, si ndio? Thank you.
Why should they come? How can this be brought us here? And what are the solutions and hope? Say you bring control and the balance. Just tell us briefly, as we do the benediction, but before, let me just give us some other things. What I got from this conversation is so whatever problem I'm getting from this is we need to make practical solutions with spiritual, because life is spiritual. So let us know how to balance, and also we include professionals in our school. So as parents, when you go to school, please maybe have a seat with the administration to ensure that we have first aiders, we have first aid kits, they are up to date. We have fire extinguishers, we have smoke detectors, we have fire emergency exits in our dormitories. That will bring a balance and a control that the pastor was talking about. And also the church. What is the role of the church in this? For me, what I'm getting is when we conduct our outreach or CSR maybe program,
be given time. Life is not just about academics. Why am I saying that? There are four quotients that you have to understand. There's intelligence quotient, which we get from the school. It helps us to solve issues of mathematics, what all these memorizing things. That we get, the intelligence quotient, IQ, we get from the school. We also have something else called emotional quotient. Emotional quotient, it helps you to handle pressure and many other things, which a child may not necessarily get from class, but from activities and many other things. There's another thing called social quotient, how a child is taught to relate with others and do things in harmony with others. Because also some children, they don't know how to correlate with others. They are just, this is my life, I don't want, I can't be told. They have not been taught how to relate with others. Then there's something called adversity quotient. Adversity quotient is when a child is raised up to handle tough issues. So we find that a child only concentrates on, the school concentrates mostly on one, which is intelligence quotient. Now as a church, where do we come in? Remember, the school imparts knowledge, but the church will impart wisdom. So you have to understand, what is knowledge? Knowledge is just information you have acquired. But that information alone is not enough. You need a higher, like, let me use the spiritual way, spirit, to help you be able to put that knowledge into place. So what is knowledge? Knowledge is information acquired. What is wisdom? Wisdom is the right, is the ability to rightly put that knowledge into practice. A child needs the Spirit of God to be able to handle some things. So let the schools also open up for weekend challenges. We know that many schools have restricted that. Let the schools open that. Let the schools have moments for children to be ministered to. We go in the schools and we find many children are bound. Some things are not necessarily pressure. There are demonic forces behind the happenings. So we need also schools to be open for that. And I know that can be well. And as I go to my final thing is that this is RGC Sense Alive, Kariobangi South. We call it a send of hope. So this is a right place for our young people who are going through so many things that maybe a parent can't hear you, can't understand you. We are here. We do free counseling. We are special services for the young people. We call it a youth. Bring a child, to bring your young person, so that we can nurture them not only in
Saturday kuanzia saa 5 hadi saa 7 kamili. Thank you so much. Be blessed.
God